And welcome to Blockbuster Bums. Kick back your recliner, crack open a beer, and let's talk movies. And today we'll be talking about Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first movie in the Indiana Jones saga. Good movie, if I may say so myself. But that being said, we have somebody to introduce, a new bum to the crew. David is here for his first movie, and he's a big Indiana Jones fan, so we thought we'd bring him in. Welcome, David.
Yeah, thank you.
And I think that's all the housekeeping I have. So let's start off with a little roundtable here. Tom, what did you think of your rewatch of Raiders of the Lost Ark?
It was pure nostalgia for me, to be honest with you. Raiders was definitely the one that I had watched the most as a child. Like, I'm pretty sure I wore out that damn VHS tape.
Yeah.
Like, for real. And I even remember even playing it as a kid, like just being Indiana Jones. So yeah, I like everything about it. Like, I loved.
Awesome. Barry, how about you, sir?
I don't know that this makes me the odd man out necessarily. I like this movie. I kind of don't think that I love it probably as much as you other guys. It's not to say I dislike it at all. I think it's fine. And I guess that's it. Not trying to be negative about it, but that's where I'm at with it.
All right, we'll see. We'll break it down more. David, what did you think of your rewatch?
Yeah, I have to kind of agree with Tom on that too. Indiana Jones was like the movie of my childhood. It was a movie that I could watch every single day after school, and then, like Tom said, go outside and kind of recreate the scenes and action and all of that. So watching this film always brings back memories of my childhood and just how I always wanted to be that like action hero that Indiana Jones was.
Yeah.
Well, before I move to Ray, I just
More
want
attainable bond.
to say this is like I felt kind of nostalgia myself, but none of us were alive when this movie came out. So it's weird that like we grew up watching it, but at the same time it came out quite a few years before most of us were born. So it's a little bit interesting. Ray, what did you think, buddy?
Oh, I always enjoy these Indiana Jones movies. The adventure, the random adventure by this archaeologist that somehow gets time off work to go do these crazy adventures. It's a good evolution of George Lucas's film and story making, stepping out of the Star Wars or the American graffiti kind of era kind of stuff. So it's kind of nice evolution of his chops. But overall, pretty good on the rewatch. Yeah.
I agree. It was nostalgia for me. To be honest with you, there's just things that would happen during the movie, and it would just make me smile because I'm like, oh, remember that? Yep. Some classic things like the boulder. I'm sure that'll come up later. Just kind of makes me grin a little bit. And I did share it with my sons who are, pretty young at this point. But they were able to watch it with me. They both enjoyed it. They both kind of were like, oh my gosh, this guy's cool, Dad. And it was like, see, passing it along.
But I think that's probably how we were all introduced to it too.
Yeah.
Really, if you think about that time period, like Ford was everywhere.
Yeah.
So I mean, it would be it's like of course our parents are going to watch like the new Harrison Ford stuff and all.
Star Wars, Indiana Jones,
Blade
Runner,
Spielberg and all that. And it's like for real.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know. Like, I don't know how much I remembered of this. Before I watched the movie. It wasn't something that like just jumped out at me, but I really liked the opening of this movie. Much more than I think I liked the opening of the second one that I just watched again recently. With like you're getting the credits and everything, but it's also him walking through the jungle. He's got these workers around him, but things are also going on. Like the workers are finding things and getting scared, and then one of them tries to essentially jump him from behind at one point, and like just all this craziness going on. I thought it was a really cool way to intro into a movie.
Yeah, like a nice hit in the face of the unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel like you're missing something right off the bat because it just dives into the action from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I don't mean this as a negative, but this movie doesn't really give you a lot of development. It just kind of jumps in, and here we go, like that we're starting, like and it works. I think I mean, if there wasn't more to it later, more to him later, it probably wouldn't work. But from the beginning, it's not like, okay, we're going to give you this really slow 30, 40 minutes at the beginning of the movie where we develop this character and show you all about him. There isn't that. It's just he's on an adventure immediately as soon as he walks on scene.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's kind of because of what Ray was saying. Like, how do you effectively introduce an archaeologist as being this like action character, without just putting him out there as this adventurer from the very beginning?
I mean, you're probably right. I think looking back on it, I would say I would have expected it to start with him in a classroom, but I like that it doesn't.
Yeah.
I do too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it grabs you, that's for sure. I don't want to necessarily go back too far, but listening to you guys each initially comment on this, it struck me. I think I'm probably at least a decade older than most of you guys. I also grew up in a home where we did not have a VCR.
Oh, okay.
I never watched the Indiana Jones movies when I was a kid. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Okay.
have a nostalgia for them. So I see them. I think I first probably watched one in like the early 2000s.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I think they're good. I think they're fun, but you guys have like this emotional connection to them.
Mhm.
And I just don't have that. So I think
Okay.
that explains it in part.
Yeah.
I think that's a good pickup there, Barry. Because I obviously not knowing that, I wouldn't have ever picked up on that. But yeah, I watched. I don't know how young I was the first time I watched, but I was definitely single digits the first time I watched
Yeah.
an Indiana
I
Jones
had the
movie.
damn Lego set. Like,
Yeah.
I remember, like, it was,
Yeah.
like there were toys and everything. It was a whole wave of the shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember it. Like it was still popular. Like you said, they didn't come out, but the stuff was still popular with children. Like,
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I'm not trying to air out your laundry here, David, but I mean, you had like a whole costume.
I did, yeah. I had a hat that I got when I went to a trip to Disney World or Universal Studios when I was 12. I got the whip, I got the jacket, the boots. I would just constantly be outside just whipping tree branches and trying to figure out.
Did
if
you
I
ever
could
swing?
I could. Yeah, I always like wanted to imitate that. Of course, that's a movie, thing, but I always tried to replicate it and never worked.
Well, speaking of the whip, I think the whip gets a really cool intro here. I'm not trying to gush over this intro scene too much, but it's kind of coming out that way. The first time you see the whip is the guy pulls a gun on him from behind, and he like quick draws with the guy with a whip instead of another gun,
Mm-hmm.
and just takes the guy's gun out, and you're just like, man, this dude's a badass. Like it just automatically jumps right out there to you. It's really cool. And then he uses the whip pretty much the entirety of this first little adventure he's having here. He's brushing off spiders. He's grabbing onto things and swinging and all those types. I mean, he's
Well, I mean, you having a whip, you have to kind of show functionality besides just kind of throwing it at somebody, whipping.
Mhm.
So it's got to be more useful than just like. So
I'm not gonna lie.
You
I
gotta
would be looking for
saturate the
every
fuck out of
opportunity
this
to
weapon.
use it.
yeah.
Like I got this. I'm like, no, you can just walk and get that can. I'm like, nah, I'll get it from here. Like, no, every opportunity to do something, I'd be smacking shit with it. Like,
mhm.
that's why it's irresponsible to let me have one.
It is obviously a memorable, iconic part of who this character is. And am I wrong in thinking it's an odd choice to come to that? Like, let's give him a whip.
Oh, it is an odd choice. I totally agree.
But it works so
I,
well.
I think that's why it is iconic, is because think
Like
of like who else has a whip?
right.
like,
It's
action
not,
hero-wise.
it doesn't. It's not particularly practical, probably, but it's interesting. And
It's the
yeah,
30s, Barry. It's always practical.
everyone had a
Like,
whip in the 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1936. You gotta get through customs.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to go anywhere if you're an archaeologist.
Yeah.
No one
I'd
cares
like to
if
know
you have a
what
whip.
George Lucas was thinking when he's like, "Hey, let's give this fucking guy a whip,"
Yeah. I mean, maybe
Yeah,
whips are
definitely.
really used a lot in the archaeological world. I don't know.
I mean, I could see. I mean, I'm referencing another movie here, but I could see Dr. Grant using a whip.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's got that look.
He does. He has the look. Yeah.
It's the hat.
Yeah, it's the hat. You're
It is,
right.
it's always the
A
hat.
whip with a
Yeah.
raptor claw on it.
There you go. Or a series of raptor claws.
Yeah.
Like the what do they call the ones the Romans used to
Oh,
to tear
God.
people up?
Oh yeah, I can't remember that one.
Had all like the barbs on it, and they would just grab and like rip your skin
Cat of
off.
9 tails, is that what they called it?
It might be. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
something like that.
That's what the peasants called it. Like
The whippies.
that wasn't his Latin name. Like,
But I think we talked about it a minute ago where, like, you know, it jumps right in with Indy full on in an adventure. But then they make it very clear to you very early on here when he enters the cave. This is definitely not his first time. They show him, like, his
no,
expertise.
yeah, he's competent. Like,
No, he's completely competent. I mean, like, he's like saving the dude's life a couple times. Like, you know,
Dude,
like, oh, don't stay out of the light. Like, who'd have thought that?
Yeah,
Like,
that dude cracked my shit up. Like, he
But-
sold terror so well. Like, I loved
Mhm.
it.
But Indy can never find anybody trustworthy to go on these damn adventures with him. You know, like the two goons that were with him at the first part.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, fucked him over.
You mean Doc Ock?
Yeah, Doc Ock. Yeah.
Mhm.
I was gonna mention that.
Yeah.
Like that's your introduction to.
Oh, yeah.
No, I think what's interesting about this, and it's prevalent through all of the films, I think, but you think of character development, especially where there's like this hero character, you usually see like a success or maybe two successes, and then they meet whatever problem that they face where they, don't accomplish their goal, and then they have that's the whole kind of plot development,
The Ark.
the arc of the movie. But they always seem to set Andy up in this: he fails, he fails, he fails until he wins.
Yes.
And I always felt like that was a very cool way to set up, and it's that way through the films, I feel like. pretty
Well, I think
consistently.
it'll touch for the rest of us in the room at least. I mean, that's a Bond trope. You know,
Yeah.
Bond did that a lot, and this was Spielberg's answer to James Bond. Like we talked about that during the
Oh.
Bond series. He wanted to show that he could make a Bond type movie, and so Indiana Jones was his answer to that. And I think, I mean, obviously it was super successful, so obviously he did something right. But yeah, no, it's really awesome. I mean, this movie particularly, where his failings come at the hands of the same guy repeatedly.
Yeah.
Belloc, I guess, is just always there to
I
not
just love
only
that back and
let him
forth.
fail, but to rub it in his face.
Yeah. Like, every time gets the jump on it. It's hilarious.
And what was he, the French guy?
Or is he British? I think he's
I
British.
think he was was he British? I thought he was.
No, I always thought he was French.
Yeah,
I thought he was
always
one of them
French,
French
too.
desserts.
Maybe he is.
But
I
I-
don't
but
know.
I
I
I
think
don't
it's got a
know.
really bad.
But
French
I guess
accent.
I always thought honestly because the stereotypes, like the bad accent, the slicked back hair, like the name, and then even the fact that his like family had the liquor or whatever. I was like, oh yeah, that would be a pretentious Frenchy thing to
Yeah.
say.
I'm
Like,
pretty
just
sure I
like-
remember saying while I was watching the movie, that dirty Frenchman.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
those damn frog people. Like,
Yeah.
just like-
Oh, Barry, it's good to have you back, buddy.
Well, that's right. It's good to be back.
Well, I think it's also something that's, something you don't see all the time, to introduce the main villain like 5 minutes into the movie.
Right.
well, it's more like his nemesis and all that. But
Mm.
yeah, like I don't know. I always like because he goes along because really, yes, he's after the arc and all this, but like looking at it from that Bond perspective, I think the thing that separates him here is like he's doing this really just to get stuff for the museum and all. Like he's like out there. He's actually like more or less. You could look at like Jones is illegally stealing artifacts and bringing them back through this museum. Who's buying them from him?
Yeah, for a paycheck.
Yeah, like Bond is doing some underground shady shit, and I'm here for it because it's like, hey, I know all this like archaeological lore. I'm gonna go steal these artifacts from all these countries, which the British were doing and all that. It's great, and then like bringing it back and just selling it underground.
Well, I mean, 10 grand a
Like-
year at a university just ain't making the cut. You
Hey,
know?
I'm not judging the man. I'm just saying that as a kid, I didn't really entirely put it all together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
and then as I'm watching this, it just has like a smile on my face to like, oh, like, yeah. Because even you see him like before he goes on there, is like he's in his robe and everything, he's all cozied up and whatnot. I was like, yeah, I always liked this guy and this character and all that. And
But if you miss
Yeah.
10 seconds, you would never really notice that part because that conversation only happens for like 10 seconds. So if you don't.
oh no, yeah, it's subtle in the dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like as a kid, I just didn't pick it up.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the other thing that killed me during that scene we're talking about, where he's talking to his boss, is where he's like, I only need $2,000 to go on my trip. I'm like, well, today you couldn't go anywhere for $2,000.
All,
Yeah.
all he wanted was a plane ticket. Yeah. Like,
Yeah. So yeah, I like, but I also thought it was cool. Like, this is a very, very, I mean, we kind of, somebody mentioned earlier, very iconic scene, the boulder scene at the end of the cave where he's leaving in the boulder scene, and he literally overcomes the boulder by diving out of the cave and lands at the feet of Belloc. And you're like, oh, who's this guy? And then it turns out, Mr. Jones, I am here to disarm, or he says something smart, but essentially relieve you of your artifact once more. I just thought it was a interesting way to end one of the most. I don't know if they obviously I don't know if they set out for it to be an iconic scene, but the boulder scene is one of the most iconic Indiana Jones scenes.
Let's be honest. Like every little kid wanted to be on Legends of the Hidden Temple because of Indiana Jones.
Mhm.
I mean, for real.
We all
Yeah.
thought like I could outrun the boulder, and that show was my ticket. Like that.
Yeah, let me get my
yeah.
monkey idol.
That's what I mean.
My-
like
Yeah, and that stuff's all awesome. My favorite, and I'm
Barry's
sure
a
a lot of
barracuda.
people like the sand part.
Yeah,
Mhm.
The
where he transfers out the back.
That's my
Oh yeah.
favorite
yeah.
part of it, and because it's all just obvious guesswork.
Yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason to why he's
Yeah.
using this amount and the emptying of
Mhm.
some of it and
oh,
stuff.
Mythbusters did it before. Like,
Yeah, I just
like,
it's
They
one of
didn't
those
know, like, how
little
dense would that
things
much
in a
gold
movie
be.
that I
Like-
find enjoyable. The sand part is my favorite part of that opening, which is kind of odd, maybe.
Well, you're right. I don't think it's odd, Barry, because not only is it a guesswork and things and not an exact science, but he's doing it so nonchalantly. He's just like talking to the guy while he's messing with it and doing
It's
it.
like he convinced himself of it. You're like,
Mhm.
oh yeah.
And but then there's the confrontation between him and Belloc there, and essentially he takes advantage of them bowing to the whatever he had, this monkey skull or whatever, to run away. And he's running through the jungle from all these tribesmen of some sort, and screaming at his pilot to start a plane. And his pilot obviously wants to catch his fish before he starts the plane. By the way, total Indiana Jones side character right there.
Yeah.
Like, he's completely out of place with a Yankees hat on in the middle of the jungle, trying to catch a fish, just waiting on Indy.
Oh, he had a Yankees cap on too.
He did, yeah.
Mhm.
What is up with these?
You didn't
fucking
notice
Yankees?
that?
No, I mean I noticed the one on the next one, but I didn't know it was an ongoing thing.
Is Spielberg a Yankees fan?
You son of a bitch.
I don't know. I'm not sure. But then you have, and then you find out one of the key things for Indy after that, because he gets in the plane and there's a big snake. And he's like, I hate snakes, which is a trope for the rest of all the movies,
Yeah.
which is funny. But then you instantly end that scene and he's, dressed in a suit and with, elbow pads and has his hair done and his glasses on, and he's Professor Indiana Jones now, and some of his students are very in love with him.
Yeah.
He's a handsome devil.
Well, that was. I think that I like to read the kind of behind the scenes stuff that
Mhm.
they always put out about filming shows and stuff, and they wanted to make Indiana Jones this like total ladies woman or ladies man, and always have like girls all over him and stuff. And they filmed scenes where like he is that way, and then they started taking all that stuff out. But one thing that they did leave was the girl in the classroom that had "Love You" like written on her eyelids.
Yeah.
And so you get this little glimpse of like, okay, maybe he is a ladies' man, but they never fully like lean into it, that the way that the character was written to be, and that was a Bond parallel that Spielberg was trying to pull off.
Well, I mean, it's implied pretty heavily through some of these. Like, I mean, even with Marion, like, he had a relationship with her and of some sort. I don't really get too heavily involved in it. A relationship, and then left her, and she's still pissed about it. So, like, I mean, that's a pretty Bond thing, I mean, and like, you said there's his student has "I love you" written on her eyelids. In every movie there's a different love interest essentially. Like, there is some of it there. It's maybe not over the top like it can be in Bond sometimes, but 3 or 4 girls in a movie, but it's there, I think. And then just, I don't know, I find this very interesting. It just kind of comes out of nowhere that these two, I don't know what they are. Do they say what they are? The two guys that show up to ask them questions about Ravenwood.
CIA, I
It's
think.
the CIA.
They're
Yeah.
CIA.
These two CIA guys show up and just are just questioning that Indy and his boss, whose name escapes me at the moment.
Marcus Brody.
Yeah, thank you, sir. But not really telling them what's going on. But then eventually, almost like a interrogation, like they eventually break and just spill their guts and like, this is what's going on.
I thought these guys were funny, and I liked everything they did there. But these guys basically showed up to ask Indiana Jones to help them find the Ark of the Covenant, basically.
Yes.
And apparently, they didn't do any homework before they came, and seemed to not know at all what the Ark of the Covenant was.
This I think this is them doing like it just seemed like they just like we just want to beat the Nazis or whatever.
And
they're
I know
doing.
it was done for exposition,
Yeah.
I get that, but it's
No.
kind of a funny thing. Like, you guys should have read a book or something.
Well, at one point, Indy looks at the guy and goes, "Didn't you go to Sunday school?"
Yeah. Yeah, you don't send those guys to get the job done. They don't know what it is.
Yeah.
They were just there to get information out of Professor.
They was like, oh my God, this is our big break, guys. Let's go. Yeah, I'm just so excited. Let's get it.
Hey, take the job you're given, I guess.
They got it in the end.
Yeah.
You got like they achieved everything in the end. They got the
Yeah.
Ark. Like,
Yeah, they got their case closed.
that mustache got his like promotion and everything.
And is a dick about it.
Top men, Barry. Just
And another thing that's becomes more of a staple of the Indy series is you see his travels on a map with lines drawn on a map, which is after these guys show up, they essentially task him with going to get the Ark before the Nazis get it. And they have questions about said Ravenwood, who used to work with Indy, or was Indy's.
Indy was probably his protege.
There you
at
go.
one point.
There you go. Thank
Yeah.
you. I was trying to look for the word there. Yes.
I call him Abner better. You don't hear that name a lot. Like
Well, Abner is like a trope in the indie world. He constantly is talked about. He constantly is mentioned and referenced, but they never show him. And in the comics and the movies and the video games, he never appears.
Really?
Yes,
I
but
didn't know that was a thing.
but he's referenced and talked about and repeatedly through all of this.
That's like a little in joke, huh?
In.
Like if you collect all the data that is talked about Ravenwood through all of this, like you actually get a pretty full story of his life. I know this because I watched a video about them doing it. Like they're like, oh, you learn here that this happened, you learn here that this happened, and then like you combine it all in the correct order, and you actually know quite a bit about the guy between all the different shows and books and video games. You actually know quite a bit about the guy, but we've never seen him.
Yeah.
Which is odd, but kind of cool at the same time.
That was very cool.
What about the young Indiana Jones? Is he brought up in that? Do you know?
He might be. I don't know. I've not watched that or anything. I'm not 100% sure. I actually to like prepare myself for this, I've been watching I listened to like an Indiana Jones podcast and like watched some videos on Indiana Jones stuff, and the Ravenwood stuff was just brought up. So
Oh, okay.
I'm no expert on Ravenwood. But anyway, Indy's task was doing this, which he's super, super stoked about. I mean, if you're an archaeologist, I mean, this probably would be this would be one of the all intents and purposes, the holy grail of things to look for.
Yeah, they do that later.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't even really he's more about the cash and getting it though. Like that's what like I said, that's what old boy his boss was trying to make a big to do about it. And he's like, "What are you talking about? It's just another job." Like I don't believe in that hocus pocus.
Yeah, he called it
Yeah.
like hocus pocus
Yeah.
magic or some such thing.
And even at the end and everything, he's mad. Like I said, the little bit of dialogue, they're like, "No, the compensation was just fine. Like he got his money. Like the CIA paid. They just didn't give the artifact to the museum like they promised."
Right.
Like that's one of those things to where it's like, hey, I went through a lot of hell. Like, where is it? Like, and now that he knows what it does now, so it's like not only is it an actual artifact, but he's like, no, it apparently fucking works. I opened my eyes and everybody was gone. Like,
But it wasn't as much hocus pocus because he knew a lot about this. So he took at least a little bit of interest in it, and he has to take the adventure to follow it to the end part. That's what the whole the whole thing with him was. He might say it was hocus pocus or blah blah blah, but he wants to know the end game. He wants to know that artifact, and he wants
Yeah,
to know.
well, that was the whole point with the RPG and all that. That was what that was about. We're like, hey, if you don't, if you really aren't curious, if that little bit of you doesn't want to know if that's really the real thing, like blow it up, like do it. He called his bluff there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, because
Yeah.
that's what it means. So we're like, if you really did 100% think that, like, you'd pull that trigger.
Yeah, I mean, Belloc in that scene, it really just shows that, dude, I know you. You're not gonna do this.
Yeah.
Like, you care too much.
Well, and obviously he wouldn't do it anyway, just because I think he would. Like I said, even if it was real and didn't do what it did, he would still want it for the museum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was still the, like I said, he's still like, in my mind, he's still not gonna do it. It's like, and let's be honest, like, you don't want to be known as the archaeologist that destroyed the Ark of the Covenant.
Right. I mean, he
Like,
says
to go down in history as that would be a terrible thing historically to be like, just like, out of everybody.
I mean, he
everybody
says
would hate you.
he says earlier in the movie, like, this is like the ultimate artifact, essentially. Like, if you're the guy that finds this, like, you're the most famous guy in archaeology history. Like, he doesn't say it exactly like that, but essentially that's what he's saying. And so yeah, it's interesting to see the sides of Indy when it comes to this, because I think you're right, Tom. There, he is very interested in a payday, but I also think he's very, very interested in history and being able to preserve these things. He's pissed when things don't go into the museum.
That's what I mean. He wants to be the keeper of it. Like,
Yeah.
it's under his, like I said, observation and whatnot.
I also think it shows, like, he's insulted at the end. I know we're jumping way far into the movie, but he's insulted at the end when essentially they're like, we have top guys working on it. I took it as, who the fuck's top? I'm top guy. Like, that's me. I'm the top guy.
Top men.
Yeah.
Like,
So
I love that. It's the biggest fuck you. Like, it's
Yeah.
like,
Well, and maybe George Lucas didn't anticipate maybe that there was going to be multiple films, but I think he definitely leaned into it once he knew that it was a hit. And you can like, we're introduced to Indy as Tom said, this guy that just wants a payday and puts on these airs that he doesn't really give a crap about it. He just wants to get paid. But you see through the next movies that his attitude towards it changes. Even in the second movie, he ends up giving the stone back to the community instead of taking it as a relic. Or in the third movie, like, he doesn't take the cup. It's all these things where it shows you who Indy really is slowly over time. So yeah, in the first movie, we see this somewhat greedy person that has some walls built up around him as that's just part of who his character is. So
Yeah.
you also kind of wonder, because of the person he kind of portrays himself as, especially in this first one. Like, he seems so hard up for money in this first movie, because even when he, like, loses the monkey skull thing, like, he has like 4 or 5 other small artifacts in his pocket, and he's trying to hawk them for money. He's like, you're gonna pay me for these, right? You're gonna pay me for these. And it's almost like, do you owe somebody money? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
the 30s, man. Like,
Like
everybody's
he's a
poor.
degenerate gambler or something.
right? Yeah, it comes across that way, at least. Or, hopefully
He's
you're
at
not
the track every Saturday.
But that leads us into the bar scene in Marion's bar. You're introduced to Marion, which is the I don't know.
Shot for shot. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
she
yes.
was.
like,
Yeah, she was going shot for shot with this rather large man.
And this was Tibet.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody looked Tibetan though, did they? They're all a bunch
Yeah,
of
I mean, a little
Caucasians.
bit.
Oh, they're in the crowd.
I mean, I've never been to Tibet, so
Was
I
the
could
big
be...
guy that was drinking though? He just looked like an Irishman or something.
yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't matter, but I was like, that guy's Tibetan.
And she, like, drinks him under the table, and then, like, gets up and is like, "Oh, I was just acting drunk. I'm fine." Like, she's just completely chill. And then Indy walks in, and this initial interaction between them, like, is I kind of touched on it earlier, was like, it kind of gives you a little bit of backstory, but not enough to actually put anything together. Like, you're just learning a little bit about Indy, where we were an item before, and they tell you that this is Ravenwood's daughter. So you're learning things, but not big enough things where you can actually still piece anything together.
I just laughed so hard of the back and forth of, I was a child, you knew what you were doing. Like, and I laughed so hard. I was like, put that on film today, see what happens. Like,
Yeah.
because I was like, then in 1936, like, what was she? How old was she if she was saying she was a child?
Right.
Like,
Yeah, I know that's
so I was like, what is the argument? I just laughed so hard at the thought of like, what is the dynamic here? Like,
I've been curious because I know I've heard that that's a big like people get sour at that.
oh,
But I
love
don't
it.
know how old Marion is in this movie, and I don't take it as like he's some sort of pervert. I took
mean,
it as like
I
she was
don't know.
20 and he was like 35 or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm
No,
wrong, but
no,
that's how I
I
take
don't
it.
think so, Barry. Like,
Because I know a lot of people get in an uproar over that.
I just
like
know-
I think it was probably more like 18 to 16. Something
I can
like
you
believe
think
that.
so?
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I believe.
That's the way I kind of took it.
Yeah. But I still laughed so hard at his response of "You knew what you were doing."
Yeah.
He's like, "You're gonna give it to me or not?" So like it just like
So-
Ford just like, oh, "God damn it, bitch, just give me the idol." Like just like, where's the head at? What Google say?
So it says that in Raiders of the Lost Ark, Marion is 25,
Oh, okay.
and when they met, she is 15.
Oh.
Now it doesn't say when they're doing things. It says
Oh,
when
but
they
I
met.
bet, that means Ray hit the spread right there,
Yeah.
18 to 16. I'm calling it. Ray was right.
Well, I mean, that
Because
does
he
make
had
me
to be a
think a
little
little
older.
differently about our man Indy then.
I mean,
You're judging by today's standards, Barry.
I mean,
Well, that's what I was kind of saying too. Is like they
Like-
they have these moments where they're setting Indy up as this player, and there's moments that they left in,
Yeah, they're
but
just
they didn't lean heavy into it.
No,
like,
they're
unlike they
they're like the
anticipated
they're
they
like the
would.
little micro ones that you gotta like really pay
Mm-hmm.
attention to see, and that's what's funny about it. Like that's why I like that the snippet in the dialogue, or just how he reacted, just like so nonchalant about it, just like glossing over the whole thing, to where that it's like, all right, I can only say I'm sorry so many times. Like, you gonna give it to me or not? Like,
but
just
that's like the only acceptable little age gap in that era. I mean, you could even probably go to 14 in the 30s. You
well,
know?
he's 12 years older than her. I
Oh,
just
12 years older.
So if she was 15,
like I
that
said,
would.
we're talking about 1936. Yeah, think about what it was before then, Ray. Like,
Yeah.
We're talking. No, we're not even talking about 1930. We're talking about 1929.
oh yeah, see there you go. Now that-
10 years before this movie.
yeah, see there we go.
So 20, 15.
So
Well, I have no comment on it. I'm
Yeah.
still going with she was 20 and he was
yeah.
35 or
Nope,
whatever.
nope. Like,
I mean,
It makes me feel better
it's
about the movie.
it's a weird thing to put in your movie, but at the same time, they didn't go out and say, nobody knows when exactly in this timeline it happened. So she could have been 18. They met when it says they met when he was
like I
15.
said, I don't think
So-
anybody's looking too deep into it. I think I'm just being.
Oh, I think people probably have.
Like,
Oh, I'm sure. I mean,
Yeah.
it came right up when I was googling.
Indiana
so-
Jones got me too, is what happened.
I just love that back and forth though. Like it just caught me off guard. We were watching it, and I actually like verbally laughed out loud. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't going to go too far down the groveling lane. And I appreciate
no, like
that.
no, like
Yeah.
no, that is like. Nope, Jones does not grovel to women. Like, it's just like that is not something that Dr. Jones does.
But I also think like he knows, like, hey, this is your dad's life's work. Like, you're gonna give in and give me this shit because like you it'll be like badass if we find it.
Yeah.
Like, so I think he also has like that trump card where he's just like, you're gonna give me the damn medallion because you want this done as much as I do.
Well, like you said too, it was her father's life's work.
Yes.
So it's one of those things to where like, yeah, it's like, come on now, like if you had a thing, we can actually complete the thing that he spent his whole life looking for. Like, yeah, like it goes without saying that would mean a lot to you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And but the medallion obviously means something to her because she has it personally on her. So but
Yeah.
that whole fight scene is cool as shit. I think the whole bar fight scene when the Nazis come in after Indy leaves. I love the what's his name
The
the
creeper.
The little Nazi?
the Nazi
I don't
guy,
know his name, but yeah, he's creepy.
Arnold Tote
What's
or
his
whatever.
Who burns his
Yeah, it
hand.
burnt. Yep, it burns his
His name's
hand.
Toad?
Tote.
Toad. Okay.
Toht.
All right. Toad would be good too.
Yeah, like from X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great character.
He is. He's a good character. I like
Doesn't
him.
have to do much, and you know what this guy's about.
I'll show you what I'm used to. And I'm like, ooh.
And
Yeah.
by him grabbing that fucking medallion, he got half of what he needed.
Oh yeah.
That's that lucky son of a bitch.
By the way, you see him in the desert after that, and all I thought the next time I seen him was his hand's still fucked up.
Yeah.
Like it would take so long for that to heal.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
My favorite thing that guy does, and of course, I don't think it's in the bar scene, is when he whips out what you think is like some sort of torture device or something,
And it's
a coat hanger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when they're in the tent in the desert and all
Yeah,
that.
I really
when,
like
when it's
that.
her and Mr. French. Like,
Mr. French.
Yeah.
just,
With
Dirty Frenchman.
I just like it's just where he keeps wanting to dress her up. Like, just, like-
Yeah. Well, she may as well look nice, right?
I mean, yeah,
She's gonna
no.
be around.
Once again,
Yeah.
different times. It's like I look classy in the 30s in all
Yeah.
situations, but the Germans called him out, like always overdressing.
Well, I guess it's worth asking. What do you guys think of Marion? Do you like this character? Do you find her obnoxious?
I mean, she does have moments where she's obnoxious, but I kind of like the back and forth between Marion and Indy. I think it's kind of an endearing back and forth at times.
I found her annoying at first, but then she grew on me.
Like
Yeah.
all strong, independent women.
Just
basically.
She's not your
Just
typical
like-
damsel in distress.
That's what I- yeah,
That
that's-
You get a
Like,
very
she-
typical damsel in distress in the next movie.
right.
Yeah, but that's
Mhm.
when she's
Oh,
using
yeah.
the machine gun when she's stuck in the plane and all that. She's like, yeah, she's getting in the bar scenes and knocking people out with logs and shit. Like, yeah, she's about worthless if you put her ass in a basket, apparently. But I mean,
Well, I think they either
she
the,
could
I,
have
don't-
rocked it
I-
a little bit.
I don't know if it
like,
was
I
on purpose or
mean,
not, but I feel like they walked a pretty cool line with her, where she would get herself in trouble, where Indy had to help her and save her, but at the same time she wasn't
yeah,
useless.
she was just competent enough.
Yeah, she was a Pam Bouvier.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Bouvier's better than her. Bouvier's better.
Exactly.
Uh,
Thank you,
I
Barry.
do have a question.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Barry.
Give a little love for Bouvier. When the Frenchman Billick, whatever, has her in the
Bella.
tent, right?
yeah.
And she devises some sort of escape plan,
Mm-hmm.
but then it's the worst escape plan ever. Am I mistaking that?
She
Where
just
like
got-
her whole plan suddenly just becomes, well, I'm just going to hold a knife.
Yeah.
I think she got.
That was it.
I think what it was is because it was a callback to the bar scene that we just
Yes.
talked about. Like she thought she could drink him under the table.
I caught that.
Yeah,
but then she
and
just
then-
gave up on that.
Well, I
She got
think
drunk.
I
think
think
she ended up getting drunk by accident.
I think it was because
Like that she was just laughing her ass off.
Which I didn't think that was what happened because she held her
Oh.
alcohol so well
yeah,
before.
she
And
was
maybe-
fi- I didn't think
I mean,
she
we
was
can
drunk.
read-
I thought it was him not getting drunk because he's like, "Oh, my family owns this distillery."
Okay.
So I think it was the thing was he's drinking with me. That's what I took it as.
But maybe that's her bar. You don't think that she could have
That's true.
Yeah.
Had water in him.
something to? She
Yeah.
always wins that competition because
I just took it as
the
she
cards are
got
in her
drunk
favor.
and all that, and like
Okay.
that's why she was giggling and laughing so much. And then you could see that they both kind of got caught when the
Yeah, and
German came in.
And I didn't know. I thought, is she acting? Is she playing it up? Is she pretending to be drunk?
Yeah, because
You know?
she fell out of her chair on purpose. Like
Yeah.
that was to get the knife. That's what
Yeah.
so she was at least acting a little bit.
Yeah,
know
it
what
was-
I
She
mean,
already
like-
had, yeah, but she already knew she was gonna do it. Like,
I think you guys are right when you say that the idea was supposed to be that he just wasn't going to get drunk, but then her acting and everything kind of makes it confusing as to what's going on with it. But I just thought it was kind of odd that it came down to seemingly she had some plan and I was excited to see what she was going to do. And then it was just like, I'm just going to point a knife at you.
like, yeah, because the guy with the gun's still outside the tent anyway.
Yeah.
And like the whole place is crawling with guards
Yeah.
and soldiers.
Yeah.
Like where'd you think you were going even if you got out of the tent?
Yeah.
Well, I was excited to see, but yeah, didn't happen.
But that bastard monkey got what he deserved, though.
That's
He
true.
sure the fuck
Nazi
did.
monkey.
Like, yeah,
Yeah,
like,
when my son saw the monkey die, we were both okay with it because he's a Nazi monkey.
Yeah.
like, don't care how cute your fez is.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, speaking of the monkey dying, in that scene, Sala saves Indy's life for the second time in like 3 scenes.
yeah.
He saves Indy's life again. Like I will say, Sala does not get the screen time of somebody like an odd job or not odd job. Geez, Short Round or what is his dad's name in the third one?
Henry.
Henry. He doesn't get the screen time of them, but he's damn handy.
Yeah.
Like he's very helpful to Indy in this movie.
But see,
Oh, you're talking about General Pushkin.
Yeah.
but in the third one though, he kind of goofier. Like this one, he's more like pimping Egypt, you know, in his suit and stuff. And in the third one, he turned into a caricature.
As a child, like, yeah, I thought Egypt would be the shit to go to. Like, I always wanted to go. Like, 'cause, yeah, Spielberg did a really good job of, like, yeah, romanticizing it.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Sala saving his life twice, we skipped over the first time, and the first time is like one of the most epic Indy scenes of all Indy movies, and that's the marketplace fighting and everything. Which I have something interesting for this. So, the very iconic scene where the guy with the sword comes out and is like flipping it around, and then he just shoots him.
I was going to mention this too.
That was not planned. It was not in the script. But Harrison Ford had gotten food poisoning and said he didn't have enough strength to do a fight scene. He's like, "Can we just shoot him?" And they're like, "Yeah, let's see what it looks like." And so they did it, and they loved it, and it stuck.
Good choice.
Yeah. Very good.
You knew that as well?
Yeah, and even more detail, everybody on set was sick with food poisoning.
Oh, okay.
Except for Spielberg.
Oh, except
He
for
brought his own food.
Smart.
I actually read something the other day that it might have been for Band of Brothers, not for this, but they said that Spielberg flies in his own food whenever he makes any movie.
Okay.
Probably.
He doesn't eat the food where
And
he's
I
at.
can't remember what it was, but it was super random. It was like SpaghettiOs, I think, was what he
It was canned food. I remember them saying it was canned
SpaghettiOs
food.
was like what he was living off of during the filming of this movie
Oh, really?
when they were shooting overseas.
Oh.
Huh. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, when you guys were talking about like Spielberg has his own food, I thought like he had somebody come in and cook him like, filet mignon or something.
Yeah.
SpaghettiOs, huh?
He wasn't at that level yet.
Yeah.
He was still on a budget.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
the other thing is like then I went back and rewatched it after I found this out,
Spaghettis were the shit back in the day.
and
Like,
when Harrison Ford or Indiana Jones, however you want to look at it, turns around and looks at the camera after he shoots him, he looks like shit.
Yeah.
Like he's really pale and like he looks like he's just like ugh. Like, and I was like, I don't know that I noticed that before, but now, so I don't know how much I'm like putting that on him now. But like once I learned it, I was like, he does look like shit. Like,
getting his ass beat the
It
whole
all
movie.
worked
Like,
out.
it's
It
like-
all worked out for the better. Absolutely, it's a good scene.
I love that scene. It's
Yeah.
it's so iconic, and it's like one of those things of like, well, were we gonna have Indy show that he was a great swordsman here? Like, no, just shoot him. Like, why not?
Yeah.
But I think I enjoy the when he has to fight the big German later better.
Yeah.
When he's
yeah.
just getting his ass whooped and that German just wants like because it always reminded me of the dude from Punch Out or whatever.
Oh,
like
yeah.
because I was like, yes, like the big mustache and everything. And he's like, no, very upright, old timey boxing stance. Like
Mhm,
I
mhm.
was like, this is great. And just stiff knocks him right on his ass.
There was more that was supposed to happen in that scene too,
Really?
but the plane actually moves
Mm-hmm.
and it ran over his leg.
Really?
And he got injured during that scene, so I
Oh,
think they had to
jeez.
scale back some of the filming on that scene.
The big soldier or Indy?
Indy.
Oh, it ran
Harrison
over
Ford.
Harrison
Yeah.
Ford's leg. Gotcha.
Ford's always getting hurt by planes.
Yeah.
Didn't he used to be a stunt man? I mean, get it together,
Well,
fella.
he crashed one for one of the later movies. I'm pretty
Well,
sure.
in Dial of Destiny, they had to stop filming for a while because he
Really?
broke something.
He crashed a plane.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
The man has lost his mind.
Well,
Like,
he
it's
is
just-
also 80.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I mean, so
Well, he also broke ribs doing one of the
Yeah.
Star Wars
you
movies.
should probably take
Yeah.
your pilot license if you're
He
80.
was pretty
you know,
adamant on doing his
like-
own stunts.
Mhm.
yeah,
you're probably not too good at judging altitude, distance, and everything at that age.
could be a struggle at times.
Could you imagine? Think how old people drive already. Imagine them driving planes then. Like
He had
just,
his blinker
just
on the
lower,
whole time.
just lower and slower.
Yeah.
Like, just,
By the way, we talked pretty heavily about Marion in the tent and like her trying to escape, but we didn't touch on the fact that Indy went in there and freed her and then tied her back up and left her there.
Yeah, that was really good.
it was all part of the plan. He knew
Yeah.
he was safe.
I mean, that's a big chance to take. I mean, at any point they could, kill her, rape her, anything they wanted essentially.
Yeah.
You stay here while I go find an artifact. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Like,
It's the Ark. Like, once again. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but he also didn't think of it before he went in there. Like, hey, if I free her, they'll be looking for us, and I won't be able to find the Ark, so I'm gonna have to leave you here now.
It occurred to him,
Yeah.
credit to him.
Eventually.
Yeah, and that's part of the charm of this guy, And again, I'm not as well versed with Indiana Jones as you guys. Like, again, I've seen him before, but it's not something that I remember and stuff. He just kind of stumbles into everything. There's no plan necessarily, but damn it, he's gonna make it work.
Yeah.
He's very intelligent and like knows his shit, but yes, he kind of stumbles his way through these movies a lot. I would agree with that. He also like one of my favorite lines of this whole movie is right after that though, when he and Sala are digging it up and they finally move the top, and Sala just looks at him and goes, "Why does the floor move?" I love that line. I don't know why, but I love that line. And then it pans down, you see all the snakes, and I'm
Yeah.
like, ugh.
Hmm.
I'm not a big fan of snakes myself,
No.
so
Which I love how they set that up, like with the snake in the plane. And
yes.
Sort of,
Mhm.
you knew that that was going to be something that comes up later, and of course it's
See,
a room
I
full
like
of
more.
asps.
It's not. Yeah, it's that he's like asps, very dangerous. You go first.
Yes,
Like that's where I was like,
yes.
you
Yeah.
motherfucker. Like that's like quintessential solid to me.
Yeah.
To where, like, you're gonna save my life, but then when we're doing dangerous shit, like like you go first. Like just like, God damn it.
I mean,
Like,
the whole time they were digging, it was Sala and the crew, and Andy's just like,
oh, when
yeah.
they show the silhouette, and yeah, he's like wiping his brow off with the hat and everything, and everybody else is still just dirt flying and
yeah,
all.
get out of here.
And they're prying the stuff up. He's just looking crazy as shit. Like just lightning and everything in the
One of
background.
them like old dark fantasy
Yeah.
movies.
Like it's no wonder those people don't like Americans. Like it's like
But I think the tomb itself is also like a really cool. I wish I would. I don't know anything about it. Maybe you do, David. But I don't. That set must have been really cool.
Yeah, and I meant to mention it in the intro. I'm kind of going off on a little tangent here, but my daytime job is a scenic designer and set builder. And this movie actually is sort of what started that passion for me. And I loved the set in this, and I didn't know it at the time as a 13-year-old or whatever, but I just remember being so enamored by all the moving parts and even just the aesthetics of the set, because they are very distinct, and it's very like when you see like the distressing of everything, and you could tell that stones weigh 15 pounds and not 15,000 pounds. There's just these aesthetic pieces
Yeah.
that are very like Indiana Jones. But yeah, it was really that movie specifically with the boulder, with the giant statue that crashes through the wall, and just all of these moments. I was like, man, I would love to be the person that does that kind of stuff, that builds those things and creates those scenes. So that's my little piece that I was gonna put in that intro. But yeah, I don't know a whole lot about the behind the scenes of making the sets specifically. I know that the snakes, none of them are poisonous except for the cobras. Harrison Ford is not afraid of snakes at all. So he has to put all of that on, all of his fear face and stuff. It's all acting. Marion, the actress that plays Marion, could not be around the snakes at all. And so one of the boom operators stood in and shaved his legs and put on a dress. And so there's a scene where Indy's face to face with a
That's
cobra, and you see
hilarious.
legs in the background. It's not a female actor.
yeah, when he
It's-
first
good for
drops
that
when he
guy,
when he
though. He
first
has
drops in.
some nice
Yeah, because then
legs.
it's him and
Yeah.
her and everything.
Boing, boing,
So that's funny.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things in that pit scene that were pretty interesting.
Yeah.
in
I
the
think in
filming.
part of it where I think it's a cobra, something is like staring her down or whatever. You can see the glass,
Yeah.
which
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
fine with, and a lot of the charm is that it's not computer generated stuff.
Mhm.
It's the set designs and
yeah.
all of the practical effects. So I could see how that would lead somebody who's attentive to that at a young age to go like, oh man, that's interesting. Yeah.
So I had two, I guess, big questions that cropped up in my mind during this scene, and I'm not trying to be too realistic because I know they take liberties with things in these movies. But my first question was, how were the snakes alive?
They eat each other. That's
Well,
my
they had the
theory.
hole in the wall,
There's
so they could
rats
go
all-
in and out.
There's rats all over Egypt, Alex.
I guess, but I mean, like,
That was a good point. Yeah.
there was a hole in the wall. You're correct.
Yeah.
But then why didn't they just leave? Why were they all still down there?
Well, I mean, once you drop off the wall, I mean, you can't really climb back up,
Snake sanctuary. Man.
So maybe they're eating each other.
It could be. Then my second question was, Indy drops the statue and breaks the wall. And in the next scene, you just see Marion climbing over the statue into the hole in the wall. How did she just get past all the snakes to the hole in the wall?
She's hanging on to the statue, right?
Well, she
Is
is.
she dangling?
She
She gets down.
yeah,
And then he knocks her over.
because he tells her when I punch through that wall, run.
Yeah.
That's what he tells her.
No
Well,
matter what happens to me.
yeah, like I'm just like, well, the floor is covered in poisonous snakes. Like,
Nope,
what do you mean
run.
run?
Run.
Like,
Like, just run.
Yeah.
and she's barefoot.
Well,
Terrible choice.
guess you just hold your breath and hope for the best, huh?
Yeah.
Guess so.
Yeah.
Those are just my two questions about that. I don't know. It doesn't hurt my feelings that.
It's like a Roger Moore crocodile run moment.
There you go.
Well, from
Hey.
a practical standpoint, and what I just said, the actress that plays Marion could not be filmed with snakes. So
That's true. Yeah.
It's probably their workaround was they weren't even going to try to figure out a way that they could get her
Yeah,
running
we're just
through
gonna
snakes
assume
Yeah.
she got
Yeah.
by it.
to
Yeah.
get through. So
Like, we're not dealing with that shit.
Well, let me bring this up. We've all seen Big Bang Theory, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And have we seen the Raiders of the Lost Ark episode?
You have to refresh my
I don't
memory.
know.
There's been so much
Maybe.
binge watching.
They
that
they brought
bullshit.
up a point to where Indy is non-essential in the whole movie.
Oh yeah,
because,
and then the Nazis
because the
would have
Nazi
found,
would have found
yeah,
it eventually,
and opened it and died
and they would have
anyway.
eventually died.
Yep. But then the Ark would have just been sitting there,
Yeah.
and at Tanis. the
Now
whole
it's in a
time.
government building.
Yeah.
That's better.
Now the CIA has it.
But they acted like the whole episode like that ruined the film for them. For me though, you need somebody that you want to watch on screen to
For
play
sure.
in the movie. I don't want to see a Nazi movie about a bunch of fucking dummies walking around trying to find this ark. I mean, that's not going to be entertaining to me.
You usually root for the Nazis, though, don't you?
Definitely not. Not even a little.
Well, then that leads us to Tom's fight scene from earlier, where he has to fight the big German after they escape. He has to fight the big German guy while the plane's spinning in circles with Marion in it for whatever dumbass reason. I'm not 100% sure.
She couldn't figure out the damn latch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Indy gets his ass whooped. If it wasn't for the propellers chopping that guy up, Indy's toast.
yeah.
Oh yeah, all around. Like from the first hit, they just like floored him on his ass. Like I was like, oh, this is gonna be good.
Well, the
Like,
thing is Indy gets his hits in this fight, but doesn't do anything. The guy just
no.
eats him.
And that's the thing is like what Ford is like 6'3" or something like that, isn't he?
I'm not sure. Let's
Like
look.
Harrison Ford's like a tall motherfucker. He's not a small dude.
Yeah.
So it's what like that's why like when you see him fight that one guy first off with the wrench, like oh yeah, like you're the
Says he's
big guy
6'1".
here, 6'1". There you go. Still, so the Germans like got to be like 6'4", like
At least. He
Yeah,
seems to be
towered over.
towering
yeah, 'cause
over
he
him.
was
Yeah.
like just like and that's what I mean. Like that's what like I laughed so hard about it. Just the dude from Punch Out, like.
You in this damn game.
Well, and Indy always gets bailed out. I feel like. I mean,
Yes.
Indy's never really winning the fights in most cases. There's some kind of freak thing that happens.
Well,
or
that's
some-
well. It's like later on when he fought the other the other wacky German when they're on the truck, and it's like
Oh, yeah.
it's funny because it comes full circle where the German comes in, hits him, throws him to the front. He goes under, has to come back around, but then he throws the German in the front, and the German can't hack it, gets ran over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, that was another scene I loved. Like, I think MythBusters did that one too. To where,
They
like,
did.
Yeah, 'cause
They
you
went out.
actually
They had about 10 minutes worth of like whip. They were trying to get the whip on the log.
yeah.
It took them a long time.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, Tom, that was I have written down over here is Indy took out an entire convoy on a horse. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
He just jumps on a horse, chases down a convoy, and then just starts jumping, from vehicle to vehicle, taking people out, and was like, "Yep, I got this, guys. The whole convoy is gone now, like, and I just have the truck left that has the Ark on it."
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty impressive. No Marion, no Sala, just him and a horse.
I want to know where he hid when he stowed aboard the sub.
I have that written down over here. Yes.
All right.
I have that because that's what I said. They almost made it seem like he stayed on the outside, which is utter horseshit,
Yeah, you can't do that.
But how do you stow
Hell,
away?
You can. You just wrap that whip around it. Just like,
How do you stow away in a sub? I mean, it's a legit question.
I always had it even as a kid. It's been a long question. Or like what happened like in that like did you just like barely sit in like close the hatch you like stay up there like on the ladder for the whole ride, or like what'd you do? Because he apparently got out before the damn thing docked and was already wet.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
So like I said, there's a weird gap of time here. Like you said, that I'm curious. Where were you?
No, I had the same questions. I literally have it written down over here in my notes. Like I don't understand how he did this.
But I do like he mugged a small dude.
That was great
Uniform,
too.
though.
Like you mugged the one German that was half your size.
And
Yep.
then shoulder checked Belloc.
So speaking of this, his escape here, Katanga, the captain of the ship that he gets put on by Sala. At first, does Katanga not come across like, oh, this guy's gonna double cross Indy? Like he just kind of puts off. I just felt like he put off that vibe.
Oh yeah,
Like,
definitely.
See, that's what
Yeah.
I thought, and I couldn't remember until I rewatched it. I'm like, oh, this dude's gonna fucking double cross, and I'm like,
But I think,
oh yeah,
yeah.
that's right, he doesn't.
No, not only does he not, he literally through the whole thing is trying to help Indy and the girl.
Yeah.
Like he's really trying to help him.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it's because he's just a good dude or because he's literally scared of Sala because Sala threatens them before they get on the boat,
Oh,
like to make sure he treats them well. I don't know, but he's legit to him. Like he even tries to save the girl there at the end. Like no, let me keep the girl, or whatever.
mhm.
So, I mean, obviously it doesn't work, but he tries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that they gave you a little something to think about with him.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, hey, pay attention to this guy.
Yeah, he wasn't just a one-off character. Forgettable.
You just wanted that sweater, Barry. Don't lie to me.
Yeah.
I will say this though. We were talking about Indy being a ladies' man earlier and things, and whether he is or isn't, and what they wrote in and out and everything. He literally falls asleep mid-kiss with Marion on the ship.
Oh yeah.
The dude got drugged behind a fucking M whatever truck that was and everything. And got shot in the arm and beat up by various Germans and Krauts everywhere. Like, let the man rest.
Germans
Hey,
and Krauts.
Yes, if anything, she should have sucked his dick while he was asleep. Like, that's what it is. Like, 1930s, if you're a real woman, if your man did all that, like, I want a bedtime blowjob. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like,
Oh my god.
he's earned it. Like,
well, I got the title for this
and
episode.
then you smack him in the face with a mirror and act like nothing happened and all that. Like,
By the way, the sound effect there when she does that is a Roger Moore moment. That's like the
oh.
or the Tarzan scream. I was like,
We were talking about that movie on the drive-in. Like we were thinking it had about the same vibe as Octopussy.
Yeah,
Like,
and I won't say anything beyond this. As I watched these movies, the first two, I know we're going to talk about the next one, of course. I kept thinking to myself, and I like these movies. I'd rather be watching Roger Moore as James
Oh
Bond
my goodness.
because they're so
gracious.
similar in their style.
Take that, Spielberg.
and
Your
I-
Bond
and I
isn't as
just-
good as
and
Roger
I just
Moore.
love that
Like-
era of Bond. Not to say these aren't great because they are. So
It's because those movies were made in the 30s, Barry, and this one always has to be like a throwback to it. Like,
yeah, we're in 1981.
those girls were 15.
We were talking about him falling asleep in the kiss. That's one of the smoothest lines I ever heard. I thought when I was watching that, when she touches him and he's like, "Ow," and he's like, "Well, where doesn't it hurt?" And he starts pointing.
Yeah.
I thought that was like one of the smoothest lines ever.
No, it was very smooth, and I give him credit for it. But at the same time, I also thought when he said my lips, I was like, "There's no way you took that many shots from that German motherfucker, and your lips are okay." Like, no way.
The first one was like right in the mouth. Like,
Oh man. Which then leads us to the submarine, which then leads us to the rocket launcher scene that we spoke about earlier. Which again, she's so happy when she sees him. She's like grinning ear to ear, like, "Oh, he's got you, motherfuckers!" And then he puts the rocket launcher down, and she's so disappointed. She's like, "You fool!" Like you can just see, like she's just so done with him when he puts the rocket launcher down.
Yeah, for the second time, it's just like putting the wrap back on her mouth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's the second time.
I know we're gonna find out if this is real. Like,
And then you go into so somebody explain this to me because I was wondering this and I was like, maybe I should go back and rewatch it and find out, but I didn't. Why did they take the Ark to where they took it to open it?
I assume there had to be some part of the Jewish ritual.
Because I was gonna say they're just walking through the desert, and then
Yeah.
like it seems like they just randomly picked a place and opened it. Like,
No,
but I was like, maybe I
yeah.
missed something.
I assumed that Belloc knew like that had to do with the rituals why they had that conversation
Does
earlier.
that have something to do with the like 10 Commandments or something?
Well, that's what's supposed to. It's
Well, the
supposed
Ten
to hold
Commandments are
like the
supposed to be
tablets.
inside.
Yeah.
there.
Right, but I mean, is that like a place where Moses held?
Oh, almost like
had
is
or
it
something?
Mount Sinai?
Mount
or whatever you're
Sinai,
saying?
yeah.
Like, that'd be funny if it was, but yeah, it doesn't specify.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think there was ever any mention of why they were there.
yeah, I think
Just
like I said,
where
I
the
think the
cutscene
closest
took
thing
them
you
to.
get is that like yeah, they're performing a ritual, like so. I assume yeah, like you have to be at a specific place then. Like I don't know.
I don't know.
So, what did you guys think of the effects during the opened Ark scene?
Yeah, I like the take on it.
I mean, it was very telling of 1980
Yes, yes,
special effects at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
yeah.
And-
It doesn't really hold up, but I would say that it was probably really fucking cool at the time.
Yeah, you
Oh,
got the
yeah.
Ghostbusterish vibe to it.
It did have a Ghostbusters vibe. I thought that too. Yes.
I mean, you got to think like that. I don't think any of that was digitally created. You know, it wasn't digital CGI. Like they were using prosthetics, you know, and creating these effects with the head smashing in, and I mean, all of it was physical.
Oh, I love the
propping,
explodey one at the end
Yeah.
and the melting.
which
Like,
is really
Mhm.
cool when you think of
Yeah.
it that way. You know, you're so used to CGI.
well, that's what we
you
talked
know,
about. Just
digital work,
Spielberg
but-
working with skeletons and props like that in general. Like
Mhm.
Alex and I talked about that the other day. Like if you're watching a Spielberg film, you're gonna see a skeleton. Like
Yeah.
somebody's face is melting or some shit's gonna get torn apart.
Yeah.
Like, but no, I like the way they did it and all.
Yeah.
Like, and I like it was like a callback to where even like the beginning when he's talking like an army that controlled it would control the world. Like, yeah, as long as you close your eyes, if it just destroys everybody on the field, they could just walk out there with 3 dudes and everything, just stand against everybody. Like, all right, just open up, close your eyes, wait till the lid hits again, and like, done. Just wax whole countries.
But no, you had a bunch of German soldiers like, oh yeah, we're gonna get some ghost stuff going on.
Yeah. Well, the German he wasn't all about it. That Belloc, I think the German would have been happy just giving it to Hitler and calling it a day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was totally Belloc.
Yeah,
He
like,
wanted to see it for
this-
himself before he took it.
Yeah,
And he
this was one of those things that it's like, yeah, like I don't know how much of that was just racism on the Germans' part at all, because he was like, I'm uncomfortable with this Jewish ritual, like, and I was like, dropped a hard J there, bro, like, just like, like, we knew what you meant, like, we know who you are, like,
Yeah, it was an interesting scene. I will say I had the boys cover their eyes during that scene. It was I think the only scene for this movie that I had them cover their eyes. Now there is a few of them in the next movie, but yeah, it was the only part of the movie I didn't have the boys watch.
That's fair. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty gruesome. If you know,
Yeah, I mean they're
Children's eyes.
5 and 7. It's not like
Yeah.
they're 15 or something. So
I think they're ready. Like,
but yeah, and then obviously they're all dead. So Indy gets the Ark. Although now that I'm trying to remember, do they really explain how he gets the Ark back?
no, it's a cutscene right to them being, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And then, of course, the government takes the Ark. Not even his government, the American government. So, yeah, the government takes the Ark, which seems pretty government. I mean, I feel like that's pretty standard. Like,
Yeah.
the government would totally take it if we found it. Like,
Absolutely.
and then, other than, some complaining and top men and him, essentially being pissed off and walking out to Marion, that's the end of the movie. That's how it rounds out. Again, thought it was good. Quality film. I really enjoyed it. The rewatch.
Yeah.
Well, does anybody else have anything they want to talk about before we move to our next segment?
Let me look at my notes here.
Oh, Ray and his notes. Do 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 do.
Oh, they had the monkey do the Heil.
They did.
They did.
Yeah,
Yes.
hilarious.
Yeah. Nazi monkey, man. That's so that you wouldn't be sad when he died.
Yeah.
Somebody
Right.
had to stand around and train that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine, like, that was like that's what you're doing today? I'm like, all right, I need you to take this monkey and train it to salute. Like,
Hateful little monkey.
yeah, and now you can never rehome that pet. Like, that's all that monkey knows the rest of its life.
Yeah.
Like, just like shit. Like,
Yeah, that's all I got.
By the way,
I'm glad you mentioned that, though, truly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I seen that monkey do the highlight, I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. I hope you.
yeah, that's where, like, in the bar, then he gets saved by all the kids when they run in. Like,
Yeah.
which I love it too, because that Indy's still half drunk and all that. It was like, these Arabs won't care if we kill each other. And I was like, yeah, it's good old 1930s. We'll just say it. I was like, yeah, like, we're white people. They won't care if we kill each other, Belloc. It's fine. Like, just, like,
Probably
they'll
accurate.
they'll just laugh at us and all that. Like,
They'll put you in the desert with the rest of them.
yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, but it was one of those things to where it was like, Indy was drunk and got real fast. Like, just, like, snuck that out there.
By the way, the big German dude that he fist fights,
Mm.
the actor's name is Pat Roach.
Okay.
He was a professional wrestler, and he was 6'5".
I believe all that.
Yeah.
And he looks
And-
he looks like somebody that would be named Pat.
And it does say on here that almost all of Pat Roach's scene was cut from The Last Crusade.
What was his wrestling name?
Oh, I don't know.
Is he German?
With a name like Pat Roach,
From
you
the
just
last,
go with
he
Pat
was in
Roach.
The Last Crusade.
I mean, yeah.
So he's
I mean, I would do that.
Did I
But
just say that?
Yeah.
So that's a third movie.
Oh yeah, it does say The Last Crusade. Yeah.
Oh, so I guess they're gonna came back.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah. He's a 6'5" goon. Yeah, you can reuse him anywhere. Like, put a different mustache on him.
that's right.
Like, just-
I'm a sucker for Foley or Foley, however you say that. Sound design within film.
oh yeah.
And there's something about the punches.
Yeah, that.
It's very distinct. It's
Yeah.
very, like, I feel like you can always think like that's the Indiana Jones, like, punches.
Mm-hmm.
And I was curious about it, and so I started digging a little bit, and they created that sound by stacking up a bunch of leather jackets and beating it with a baseball bat.
Oh,
And that's all that sound is, and they caught so many different iterations of that sound. and
It's
that's
so
all
funny
it
to
is.
see like what they get sounds from, and
Yeah.
when you do like a side by side of like how they use the effect and like what made it and all.
Mhm.
Like, I that is fun to figure out how they made certain sounds like that.
In one of the Band of Brothers episodes, we did a thing like that where we looked into how they made a lot of the sound effects, and like all the like shooting people stuff was them shooting cows, like dead cows.
Yeah, carcasses.
Yes, carcasses.
No, it was, oh brother, where art thou stop? I hate cats.
And I can't remember what the rest of them were, but we had like 4 or 5 of them there. Where
Yeah.
like we fell with it. It's kind of interesting the way they make that stuff up.
Very
It's also Spielberg, so
Yeah.
we good on that, guys?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
All right. Well, that'll lead us into our second segment, which is if you've been following us too long, we like to rank things. And there's not going to be a lot to rank today since we only have one movie here, but we're going to rank the movies. So this will slot in the number 1 spot. Raiders of the Lost Ark is number 1 currently because it has to be. And Sala, Sidekicks, will also slot into the number 1 spot. And then we're going to go to Love Interest, which is Marion, and she will also be number 1 for now. And then Villains will be Belloc. So we have our number 1s for the episode. Unfortunately, there's not a lot to argue about or decide between because this is our first movie. So this will be a very short-lived second segment for today. Next week will be a little bit longer when we have to be able to discuss it. But does anybody have anything to add on these 4 topics before we close out?
No,
Nope. Seems pretty well rounded.
yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate you tuning in for this Raiders of the Lost Ark episode. And we would appreciate it if you tuned in next week for Temple of Doom, the second Indiana Jones movie. I almost said James Bond. And thanks for tuning in to Blockbuster Bums.